by Roald Dahl. Introduction of the poet. Roald Dahl 1916 to 1990 is a British novelist, short story writer, poet, fighter pilot and a screenwriter. He has written children's tales, mysteries for adults and witty poetry for all. Young children spend a lot of time in screen viewing. Activities like playing video games, watching movies, as well as cartoon pictures. They watch television with fascination, often while snacking and quickly grown plump. It is a problem many parents struggle with. So, what is the problem of the parents nowadays? Nowadays, the problems of the parents are their what's, their children who are spending a lot of time in watching television or gapping at the mobile screen. They are simply hypnotized by it. The poet says that when they sit in front of the TV screen, they are simply hypnotized by it. They stop listening. They only stare at the television screen. They stop listening what all advices or whoever calls them. They stop reacting. They just sit and stare. The most important thing we have learned so far as children are concerned is never let them near your television set, or better still, just don't install the idiotic thing at all. So, in this stanza, Roald Dahl says, it is an important thing we have learned from our children concerned that never let them allow to sit in front of the television screen, or the better suggestion is that don't just install the television screen in your home. He says to not bring the television or bring TV to our home. Almost every house we have been, we have watched them gapping at the screen. So the poet says here that every house that he have been, he has always seen the children to stare at the TV screens or the mobile screens. They loll and slop and lounge about. So what does the poet says here? Some children just make their mouth wide open and see the TV screen or stare at the mobile screen. Someone just lay lazily to see the TV screen or to look or to stare at the mobile screen. They sit on whatever posture they want and just gap at the television screen and stare so hard, so carefully at the ghastly knowledge until their eyes seem as if it pops out. They make their eyes so wide open, so stressed. It seemed as if the next moment their eyes will come out of their face. So he says that last week in someone's place, we saw a dozens of eyeball on the floor. So what does the poet want to say? That nowadays the children are staring the TV screen in such a way, or the mobile screen in such a way, that their eyes become so stressed that it seems as if it will pop out or it will come out from their face and just lay on the floor the next movement. They sit and stare and sit until they are hypnotized by it, until they are absolutely drunk with all that shocking, ghastly junk. So, what does the poet says here? The poet says that the children just sit and stare on the TV screen until they are completely hypnotized, completely drunk with all the ghastly junk. Ghastly junk means all the unwanted rubbish stuffs that are shown on the TV screen. Are hypnotized when they sit in front of the television screen because they get so busy while staring at the TV screen that they stop responding when you call. They stop listening to you. They stop moving their body or doing any physical activity. They just sit and stare at the TV screen and receive all the passive knowledge. It's okay to receive passive knowledge, but they stop doing physical activities. They stop interacting with people. They become dull and dumb. Oh, yes, We know it keeps them still. They don't climb out the window sill. They never fight or kick or punch. They leave you free to cook the lunch and wash the dishes in the sink. It makes them still like a stone for few minutes. They stop climbing on the out the window sill. They never fight or kick or punch each other. They leave you free to cook the lunch or wash the dishes in the sink. But have you ever thought, what does it do to their brain? How does it affect their brain? But did you ever stop to think, to wonder just exactly what this does to your beloved thought? So have you ever stopped to think that what does it do to your beloved child or beloved what? It rots the sense in their head and it kills the imagination dead. So, what does it do? It rots the sense. They don't even respond when you call. It rots the sense. It kills the imagination power of their mind. It clogs and clusters their mind. It makes their mind be stuck and it kills their imagination. It makes your child dull and blind. It makes your child dull and dumb. They stop answering to questions. They stop interacting with peoples and it also affects their eyesight a lot. And he can no longer understand a fantasy of fairyland. So what he can't understand, he cannot understand an imaginative story. If a person explains the child to learn or to do something imaginary, to think, to give pressure to your mind, they cannot do so. His brain becomes as soft as cheese, his power of thinking rust and freeze. He cannot think, he only sees. So, what happens when a person or a child watches television? The thinking power becomes stuck in a place. The thinking power rust. A child or a person cannot think properly when he or she sees television or a TV screen or stares at the mobile screen even for a long time. The thinking ability stops and the imagination also get blocked. They only receive the passive useless stuffs shown on the TV which don't have a practical value even. Thank you for your patience hearing and have a nice day ahead.